It's holiday weekend in Knoxville. Gay Street looking nice here in downtown Knoxville. The Christmas tree's up and a lot of Christmas spirit right here at Food City Center. A fun one. Tennessee and Gardner Webb, both teams in the win column this week, looking for a back-to-back win. Steve Hamer, former Volunteer. Andy Bronk with you. Steve, it's safe to say that was the biggest win for Tennessee on Tuesday at home against number 11 Louisville, snapped a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, you got a chance to put the 3-game losing streak in the rearview mirror. Now you focus your sights on the running Rebels. That's big game today for them, right? Got to capitalize on that momentum.
In that win against Louisville for Tennessee, 54% from the floor, their best this season statistically. And a big part of that was they were able to get the ball in the paint.
Yeah, they were able to get the ball in the paint and play inside out, which is my brand of basketball, Andy. 7 of 18 from the three-point line, pretty good. But as long as you get the ball on the inside, good things happen.
39% from three as well, 6 of 10 in that second half. On the other side, Gardner Webb, they're coming off a win on Thursday. They've got a plethora of new players, completely different look from last season for Jeremy Luther and his squad, and they get a lot of guys involved, Steve.
Yeah, virtually a who's who, right? You're going to need a bunch of guys to come at Tennessee in waves, and if you're Coach Luther, you're hoping that his guys can stay in it long enough early to get his guys a chance to win this game late.
Gardner Webb 2-12 on the year. Tennessee 8-3. You're getting to the point in the season where you're going to hit a holiday break, and then conference play is on the horizon. Not too many more tune-ups left before you hit the real deal. Every game feels important at this point. A lot of holiday spirit in the air, but both teams ready for business today.
Well, make no mistake, guys, this is a big game for both teams. As you just intimated, Andy, both of these teams are looking to go into the holiday break on a great momentum swing, right? You don't want to lose that game ever going into Christmas break because you got a few days off. You don't want that to fester and mull around in your spirit.
Tennessee had 10 days off after their loss in Nashville against Illinois before that game Tuesday against Louisville. They've had some time to fester on a loss. They don't want to be back in that same spot. Here's Jacoby Gillespie, 23 points on Tuesday. Can't get the layup to go.
Nice cut to the basket. Gardner Webb starting out in a matchup zone. Tennessee kind of feeling them out just a little bit. But if you're Jacoby, slash when you can, get to the heart of the paint. If you can finish, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, kick it out.
Talented transfer from Maryland, Tennessee native Jacoby Gillespie. There's a starting five that Jeremy Luther is going with here in what is going to be his team's toughest challenge of the season. Both wins for Gardner Webb against D2 schools, but they're not shy from playing teams with this caliber like Tennessee.
No, they're not shy, and that's what you want to see if you're Coach Luther. Your first shot go through the basket, give you a little bit of that extra momentum going down the court.
Three-pointer was good for Curtis Williams, the third. Offensive board, Dwayne Brown, the Tennessee freshman, making his second straight start.
That's going to be a difference maker right here because of Tennessee's size. You know, they're going to be able to get to the rim, get to that rack at will.
Ament looking for an answer off the mark. Another talented freshman in Tennessee's lineup. 3 underclassmen in the starting five for Rick Barnes again.
That just shows you the level of trust that Coach Barnes has in his young puppies. Not afraid of the big moment, wants to get those guys some really good experience moving into SEC play.
Sims works it around Ace Talbert. Alabama transfer Sims, a running floater. Offensive board for the running Bulldogs. Sims a cut and a giveaway.
Yeah, Sims got to take that ball to the rack. Got to play off of 2 feet.
It was Boswell on the right spot. Tennessee did a great job of making Louisville uncomfortable Tuesday. Ament tries another, and he's 0 for 2 to start. Akpara there for the moment, gives it away.
Really good job of Gardner Webb securing the defensive rebound, getting down the floor, and that's their second chance opportunities that they're going to need here.
Tennessee, one of the better rebounding teams in the nation. That is going to be the challenge for Gardner Webb. Already mentioned height, big difference. Can Tennessee work it inside and win that battle?
Well, you got to be happy about that defensive effort there, if you're Gardner Webb, because I believe that's going to be a tie-up, and it's going to go to the running Rebels.
Here's Jeremy Luther, his second season. Actually came to Knoxville for his first career game as a head coach. He's a guy that loves this Gardner Webb program. Before being a head coach last season, 11 years as an assistant under Tim Kraft, who's now at Western Carolina. Just has so much care of this program, and lives in an era where he's going to have a different roster every year.
Really enjoy the time that I get to spend around Coach Luther. Just a student of the game, really pours his heart and soul into this program.
Contested jumper off the mark for Colin Hawkins, but Gardner Webb's done a good job of cleaning up their misses.
Yeah, Gardner Webb, man, they are getting to the offensive glass, which is something that you didn't expect because Tennessee's got a certain level of size, and now Gardner Webb's going to be paid off by going to the free throw line.
Got the ball into the big sophomore forward Jacob Hogarth. The Iona transfer draws the contact, will get 2 shots. And this is the scrappiness that we expected out of Gardner Webb. They've had some results not go their way. They've played in some tough environments. They've challenged themselves, all in an effort to get ready for Big South play. And this is their tallest task, but have to like the energy so far.
Well, Andy, experience as a teacher. You've been in some games in which it didn't go your way. But if you look at their last basketball game against Toccoa Falls, you know, they had their way there, and it builds momentum. And you see it here, man. Guys are fired up to come into an arena like this that has, you know, 15,000, 16,000 here on a Sunday at 3 o'clock. So their juices are going early.
Tennessee will be the first to tell you that you're going to take each game in itself, despite who you're playing or despite what your most recent results were. And that's a lot what Tennessee had to do mentally after a 3-game losing stretch is flush that and move on to another big game against Louisville.
Talking to Coach Barnes in shoot-around today, we talked about just that. This game is just as important on the schedule as the Louisville game was.
Jacoby Gillespie gets Tennessee on the board. Deep 3.
That's the lid lifter that will settle this basketball team down. You see J.P. Estrella in the game right now and Jalen Carey. Look for Tennessee to have, again, make a concerted effort to get the ball in the interior.
Gillespie 23 points, 5 assists on Tuesday. Has Tennessee's first 3.
Great defense there by Nate Ament.
Ament quickly the other way. Boswell, Estrella, big man weaving through, a bit off balance, can't get it to go.
Yeah, just never got his footing under him. I thought he was going to make a post-to-post big man twosome pass there, but he didn't.
Jemias Ferrer off the mark for Gardner Webb. Tennessee looking to get in some rhythm offensively. Gillespie runs the show at that point.
Got to give a lot of credit, Andy, to Gardner Webb, man. They've come out to play.
Looking for Estrella. Will be a foul. 2 shots. Tennessee still trying to settle into the flow of this one. Gardner Webb by a pair. A beautiful Sunday here in Knoxville. The sun is shining. Pretty good weather. Feels kind of like a spring day, but it is a holiday weekend. One of the best times of the year. College basketball heating up. You could say their biggest win on Tuesday, a big win over Louisville. And see, we made the point that it was the bigs that really did work to make that happen.
Yeah, we often talk about the flash and dash. That is Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie. But we need to talk about some ground and pound. That is the big guys. Jalen Carey doing his best, passing the ball to a Felix Akpar, flushing it. I mean, Tennessee really can have their way with any team in the country. And again, for me, it starts with the inside-out play because they play so well together. The cohesion, the chemistry, the connectedness is starting to come together. And I'm looking for big things in the future with Jalen Carey and Felix Akpar particularly.
Tennessee 42 points in the paint. Tuesday's win against Louisville. Rick Barnes has always liked getting the ball inside. He's had a lot of teams in the past that could shoot the 3 really well. You had Chaz Lanier, who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the country last year. But the makeup of this team, they've got a lot of guys that they will rotate inside. You don't have Cade Phillips anymore. That's a big piece that you're missing. But So many options that Tennessee can utilize in the paint.
Yeah, and I think that if you were to have had this sort of depth last year with their bigs, they might have given Houston a better game in that Elite Eight matchup with a chance to go to the Final Four. But, I think this year for Tennessee, they've got a well-rounded basketball team, particularly on the inside.
Felt clear that when Tennessee is playing successful, they're going to get the ball in the paint. Tennessee only 1 for 8 in the first half against Louisville from 3. But once the bigs got rolling, it provided a bit more cushion for the 3 to start falling later in the game.
And you got to reward the bigs there. Now you got to look at Jalen Carey. I mean, he can't be stopped there because he's going to carve out that space. He uses that wide frame of his to be able to get where he wants to, his spot. He uses his timing and is not rushed and gets the shot up and goes in.
Jalen Carey, the physical presence, double-double on Tuesday. Other physical, too, off the feed from Estrella. Tennessee has evened this one up early.
Really good hands from Jacoby Gillespie.
Here's Gillespie the other way. Estrella will take the hard contact for 2.
So there you see the maturation. Coach Barnes talking to him today again at shoot around. He is wanting Jacoby to take on that mantle of becoming a vocal leader. But he also wants Jacoby to understand the game more, Andy. When to speed up, when to slow down.
This is a very young Tennessee team. You saw 3 underclassmen in the starting 5, even a guy like J.P. Estrella, who's one of the vets of this team. This is only his 2nd playing year. He was injured all last season. So there's been a lot of chemistry things you're learning along the way, especially for a guy like Jacoby Gillespie, who's tasked with running the show of this offense.
You look at someone like J.P. Estrella, who's just on the verge of just breaking out. Unfortunately, he had that minor injury over in Las Vegas that kind of sidelined him and curtailed his growth this year. But I'm telling you, this kid could be a key to a long season for Tennessee in terms of getting to where they want to, that elusive Final Four.
Gardner Webb able to finish for 2. Evens things up at 7. Gillespie looking for Abram. Great dish.
Great pass there from Jacoby, streaking. Amari Abram getting to the basket. Really like what Gardner Webb's doing right here, though, man. Taking their time, backdoor cut. Probably got fouled, did get fouled.
Hard contact as Jacob Hudson goes down. Good feed from Hogarth will lead to 2. The finish other way for Ferrer last time around.
Ferrer, man, the book is out on Ferrer, and the book says to keep him in front. He is a playmaker. He is a difference maker. Got to keep him in front.
Gardner Webb team who, for a 2nd straight year, are missing their top 5 scorers and their main starting 5 that Jeremy Luther has had to replace, go to the portal. Had a team last year that had a lot of veterans that they themselves got out of the portal, and so you lose a huge veteran presence. But that is life for a lot of teams, non-Power 4 conferences. You got a guy that scored 17 points per game, he's going to go get another opportunity. You're going to have to reload.
Well, that's the battle for Coach Luther. And again, I think he's a fantastic X's and O's coach. But at the same time, when you coach your guys up and they're averaging 16, 17 points a game, man, they're going to get poached by someone.
Carey not quite. Estrella follows. Big man doing work.
That's what J.P. Estrella does so well, man. He's like on a pogo stick. Just gets up and down so quickly.
The Gardner Webb turnover. That is their 4th. Offensive rebound's a big part of what Tennessee does. Good touch from Estrella.
Yeah, Jalen Carey doing what he does best there again. But J.P. Estrella, it's just it's hard. It's hard to box those guys out. It's hard to keep those guys with that type of stature and girth in front of you.
And Tennessee averages about 15 O boards a game. That's 2nd in the SEC. These big men, they're not just going to score. They're going to be asked to play defense, obviously, rebound the ball, and pass, as we've already seen, as Carey. That's an easy 2, about as easy as an and 1 chance he'll see.
Jalen Carey right there at the heart of that SEC logo, right there. catches the ball, and he does what he needs to do. Turns around, face the basket, see what the defense is doing. Are they dropping back? Then I can just shoot it. Or if they pushing up on me, I'm just going to throw it up for an alley-oop opportunity.
What an awesome stretch of play it's been for Jalen Carey. His last 5 averaging 12.5 points, about 8.5 rebounds. The confidence meter has shot up for him.
Confidence meter has shot up, and it's good to see him make his first free throw as well. Spent a lot of time at the free throw line today in shoot around. Anytime you have your head coach over your shoulder when you're shooting free throws in a shoot around, man, it's not necessarily a good thing. But so it's good to see him get off the schneid there with his first free throw make.
Carey had 12 points against Louisville. Left some on the bone, though, at the free throws. And there's Estrella on the defensive end. Again, the bigs are asked to do a lot, even guard on the perimeter.
Well, they switch all 5, 1 through 5, because they've got to believe that their bigs can guard guards. Now, right here, thought he had some daylight, man, but that daylight turned to darkness pretty quick.
Tennessee in a groove now. 14-2 run over the last 4 minutes. Barber going to kick it out. 3 on the way. DJ Jefferson, former Vol, off the mark with his first effort. Carey being swarmed inside. Estrella offensive board. Another one for him. Bats it back out.
Yeah, that was almost a volleyball. Just tapped back to his friends in white.
Whatever it takes. Second chance opportunity. Back to Estrella. Strong move. Got it to go.
Yeah, he put the defender in jail, man. There was nothing that he could do using that frame. Got to his spot.
And now another giveaway. Amari Evans to the rim. Freshman cashes in, and Tennessee feeling the groove now. 9-0 run over the last 2. 16-2. In the last 5.
Well, Coach Luther has had enough, man, because you're having live ball turnovers, and it leads to just this right here with J.P. Estrella having his way in the paint and then getting your hands in their cookie jar to finish with a strong deuce on the other end.
Back here in Knoxville, Tennessee on an 11-0 run as they're starting to settle in this non-conference bout right before the holiday break. J.P. Estrella and the bigs have been such a focal point for Rick Barnes and his crew. Great start for Estrella, 6 points and 3 rebounds in just 5 minutes. Mentioned it earlier, missed most of last year, only played 3 games. Surgery kept him out for the rest of that season, and it feels like he's missed no time. And unfortunately, Steve, he's still kind of dealing with a bit of a nagging injury from earlier non-conference play, but he looks so good to start today.
Well, he's just rounding into form. And okay, Andy, numbers don't lie, right? So when Tennessee was shooting the 3, after the first official timeout, Tennessee was shooting at a 14% clip from the field. Now when they made a real concerted effort to get the ball on the interior, look at the shooting clip now, 7 of 15, 46% from the floor. The game is just that easy sometimes. Get the ball on the interior.
Had 3 of Estrella's rebounds. 2 of them have been on the offensive end. His minutes have been a little bit restricted since that injury he got against Rice, and then aggravated it again in Las Vegas in that big tournament. Still trying to get him back to full strength, but he gives good minutes every time he's in.
And that could be a blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise, I say, because he will have the fresher legs come tournament time, because he won't have all the mileage, the wear and tear.
It is a long season, and Tennessee's already faced a gauntlet of tough teams. Went 3-3 in a stretch of 6 games against Power 4 teams. Fun tournament in Vegas, Players Era. Had to go on the road and be in a road environment at the Carrier Dome. Lost to Syracuse, a good Illinois team as well, and then Louisville on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that Tennessee believes that those games kind of got away, right? The Syracuse game probably should have had that one in the bag. Then you follow that up with an Illinois game that didn't go your way. You let it get away down the stretch. But I think they righted the ship against Louisville, had a great week of practice leading up to that game, and now you got Gardner Webb. And again, I love the way Gardner Webb is playing right now. They're scrappy. If they can just take care of the basketball and get good shots.
Ace Talbert's off the mark. Strong rebound to Wayne Brown. Mari Evans, good pass back. Bishop Boswell, smoothly.
Smooth, man, smooth. Really like the cut, the pass and the cut. And to the youngsters listening out there, man, always move, Andy. Without the basketball, good things will happen.
Nice, too, for Bishop Boswell, his first basket. He has been such a spark for Tennessee in his second year. Just one of those guys that's going to play at an incredible physical level. Mari Evans, his second bucket. The freshman making a difference here today.
Yeah, got to give some credit to that highway screen there with Dwayne Brown, man. He just sealed that defender off, essentially sealing off two defenders, giving a clean pathway.
This is a really deep Tennessee in terms of their rotation, and non-conference are able to get a lot of guys some different minutes and experiment, as DJ Jefferson, former Vol, knocks in the three. But Tennessee likes the depth that they have, and they feel comfortable playing as many freshmen as they do.
Yeah, that's only going to pay dividends down the stretch for Tennessee as well, because, again, you look at the mileage, the wear and tear. You know, the season doesn't just start in October. These guys have been working out since June.
Talbert was on his own island inside. Dwayne Brown picked him up well. And a giveaway.
Got to pass those up. You know, you're going into the land amongst the trees, man. You got to pass those up. But you go back to that last bucket with DJ Jefferson. He is a phenomenal talent. One of the highest verticality from those legs that I've ever seen. Can get up with the greatest of ease. Good shot. So, you know, you want to see him do more of that. Now, you got this cut right here. Great finish with Bishop Boswell. And then here you come off the screen. Clarence Masamba really indecisive in terms of what he should do. I believe it says hand down, man down. Well, there wasn't anybody in the vicinity, so had to knock that one down.
You're able to make a layup like that, what Bishop did? A little reversal, a little motion like that?
No.
Well, you didn't need to lay it up. You could just dunk it. Tennessee by 14. Hogarth really got a tough job of battling these Tennessee bigs. And can't buy that one. Good defense from Estrella.
But I like that look.
Gillespie all the way to the rim himself. So smooth when he gets going like that.
Yeah, another one of those highway screens from J.P. Estrella, man. Just clearing out space, letting those guards get downhill and finishing at the rim.
Jacoby Gillespie only had 3 points in the first half against Louisville, and I think it was a good lesson for that Tennessee team. Even though he did finish with 23, had 20 in the second, it was a good lesson that Tennessee can still lead at the half and still be successful without Gillespie at his best.
Yeah, they can be highly successful without him scoring at an elite level.
Gillespie off the pass, can't get the three. Troy Henderson's got the rebound. Gillespie off the feet again, dish into Carey. Nice find.
Jalen Carey, it's just too easy for him. And it's really, you know, Andy, when you see an iceberg, they say that most of the iceberg is under the water, and the visible part is just a tiny part of it. That's what I feel with Jalen Carey, man. He's got so much that we have yet to see.
That is an awesome analogy, Steve, and I think Coach Barnes would agree with you as well. Despite his good performances, it seems like he's still just as hard on him.
He is very hard on him because he knows that Carey's got a great amount of potential.
Almost a bank-in three from Curtis Williams. Everything but in. Gillespie on the baseline. Troy Henderson, another Tennessee freshman. No good from three. And a foul on the rebound. Jalen Carey fighting for it. Tennessee 21-5 run over the last few minutes. Sitting comfortably here now in the first. Tennessee leads by 16, and again, the paint has been the focal point for Tennessee. Steve, you mentioned it, a couple threes didn't fall early, emphasis right back inside. Yeah,
what you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, 22-4, that's not a mistake, that's not a typo. Tennessee is just having their will, their way on the interior, and that's the big guys, that's the little guys. Tennessee is just doing a wonderful job.
Heeman up high, almost a lob, but again, Estrella's there. His third offensive rebound, easy too.
Well, I didn't even think you could throw it up high enough for Nate Ament to throw it down, but even that one was just a little bit too high for him.
Gillespie up for Estrella, huge lob. JP just dominating right now.
Throw it up and send it down, big fella.
Sharp find from Gillespie. That's his 3rd assist. Estrella up to 10 points now in 7 minutes of action. Again, he hasn't played more than 13 minutes since that Rice game in November, but when he's in, man, a threat always.
Well, and an ever-present passer, an ever-willing passer, Jacoby Gillespie knew exactly where his big was in that dunker spot and just throw it up to the rim, man. One of my big fellas is going to go up there and get it.
You can just see the chemistry developing between Gillespie and those guys in the paint. Ament, his 3rd three. That one falls. His first points of the game.
Man, he's got such a sweet stroke. You know, and he is developing confidence game by game by game. There's a reason why, you know, by all projections, he is a top 14, top 15 draft prospect. Again, another willing pass by Jacoby, because he could have shot that, right? He was open enough to shoot it, but he understands I need to get my fellows going, particularly Nate Ament.
Ament, 13 points, 7 rebounds, hit a pair of threes against Louisville. Second on the team in points, 16 a game for the freshman. Very talented freshman. Again, always has a lot of eyes on him.
Now that pass,
to be a lottery pick.
That pass there from Jacoby Gillespie is going to draw the ire of one coach, Rick Barnes, because as we talked about in shoot around, it's knowing when to speed up, when to pull it back.
Just a 3rd turnover for Tennessee today. Turnovers were a bit of an issue for Tennessee early. Coach Barnes even had balloons out in practice. When turnover happened, you pop it, and then if you run out of balloons, you're running. So this team has made it a conservative effort to try to clean up those mistakes.
And he told me today that he is going to keep that in play. Great last second shot clock shot there.
Curtis Williams gets it to go. Henderson looking for an answer, and he's got it.
What Gardner Webb's got to do, man, they got to get back and wall up a little bit better, man. Got to play better defense. Can't celebrate on one end and give up a 3 on the other end.
Henderson's going to be that 3-point specialist when he enters in. A smooth shot, and he knocks that one down. Sims right to the rim over Estrella. Great finish for the Alabama transfer.
So how do you throw off a timing of a shot blocker? You go up off the wrong foot, right? Because shot blockers, man, they need to feel that rhythm. 1-2, go up, I'm going to go get that shot. But, man, when you go off the wrong foot, it throws them off.
Lots of confidence in Jacoby Gillespie. A deep 3 that time, his 2nd 3 of the day. Gillespie up to 8 points and 5 assists here in the first half, and he's running the show.
And you're getting everybody involved. Everybody's feeling good. You want to give everyone ample playing time today because, again, most of these guys are going to go home, eat some Christmas dinner, some Christmas breakfast, open up presents, all that good stuff, man. You want them to go home feeling good about themselves.
Ament left wide open. Back iron. Hudson driving. Barber a 3. Left wing. Gardner Webb can't hit. Gillespie's been so smooth and poised. Henderson running 3. He's got 2 in the half now. The freshman cashes in for another.
Sharpshooter, man. Give me the ball some more, coach. I can put it in for you.
Tennessee now 5 of 12 from 3. Deep shot starting to fall.
Well, and they take those shots in rhythm. The thing about Gardner Webb right now is they're running very little offense because everything is predicated on a 0 pass or a 1 pass shot going up. And then when you don't make that shot, the 3-point shot, you don't get back on defense, and it leads to an easy opportunity for Nate Ament.
Plethora of subs on the way. Good flow of play for both sides. Ament a bucket on one end, a swat on the other. It has just been all Tennessee over these last 2 minutes. 8-0 run. Gillespie. And just missed that one. Looked like it went in. Just short.
Well, it was all net.
Yeah. That's almost harder to do, Steve. Gillespie free throw line, directing traffic, amen, corner, not quite.
So this is an empty possession again for Tennessee, primarily because, again, they didn't get the ball on the interior.
Good ball movement from Gardner Webb and just everything but in there for Curtis Williams. And now timeout from Barnes. He just wants to get the guys in. He says he doesn't even want the timeout. Tennessee looking smooth, comfortable. Gillespie, three-point shots are falling. .28 points in the paint for Tennessee so far today, and J.P. Estrella has made the most of his 12 minutes, effective from the floor with 10 total points.
10 total points, 6 rebounds, more importantly, 3 of those offensive rebounds. And we're not even talking about the screening that he does to get his perimeter players to the basket. So, you know, in a lot of ways, he can account for even more points than he's got now. But the game is just that easy for those bigs today. And you're looking at 2 of the best right there in the conference. Jalen Carey, the highly regarded transfer from Vanderbilt, and J.P. Estrella.
There are pros and cons with where Estrella is at. You know, the con, he might not be 100% healthy at the moment. He's still able to play and obviously play well. But the pro is your depth is so good on the interior, especially in the last 2 games for Tennessee, that you don't need him to play 30 minutes right now.
You really don't, because, again, you have other guys like a Dwayne Brown, a fantastic phenom as a freshman that is going to – he's going to demand more and more playing time. He's starting the last couple of games, and he's only getting better. And you got, you know, the Felix Akpars of the world that can be elite in shot blocking, can finish at the rim. It's a really good move there.
Yeah, good drive from Colin Hawkins. They took on Amari Evans. Looks like affected by some contact at the end of that play.
I'm not sure what happened there, but he looks to be in a great deal of distress.
Yeah, got caught in the face somewhere. Hawkins, it's a really impressive drive for the sophomore guard. Season high 14 points for him on Thursday, so he's playing some of his best ball of the season.
Yeah, this is one of those guys. Oh, it's just some, like, just inadvertent head-to-head there with Dwayne Brown.
Yep, little accident, little collision at the end of that basket. Under a minute here at half number 1. It has been all Tennessee. Dwayne Brown looking for Akpar, almost too high, but Akpar's got that long wingspan.
Yeah, so that's the danger when you go to a zone. If you're, you know, someone like Gardner Webb who does not have the type of size that Tennessee's got, man, you get the ball in the interior and you force that middle defender in the zone to make a decision to come up and guard or to stay back and guard the rim. It's a tough place to be in.
And Bulldogs looking for a final basket before the half. Turnaround no good. Tennessee likely to hold for the last shot. Evans, baseline. He's got 4 points here in half 1. 6 on the clock, a 3. Dwayne Brown, a cleanup, another offensive board.
Another board for the bigs. And it's really, you know, they're just having their way here with Gardner Webb. Overwhelmed them on the interior. And, you know, just a great first half of basketball from Tennessee.
9 offensive rebounds for Tennessee in that first half. The paint guys doing work. J.P. Estrella had 10 of them. And the Vols are looking to enter this holiday weekend with a win. Perfect day for some ice skating. That's at Market Square. Whole city of Knoxville just starting to feel the holiday spirit. It's been a good one here on Rocky Top, Tennessee. Commanding lead over Gardner Webb. Final game before a Christmas break for these guys. Steve Hamer, former Vol, Andy Brock after one half. Steve, impressive what Tennessee was able to do in the paint. That speaks your language, just how they were able to out-physical Gardner Webb in that first 20.
Yeah, 22 field goals for Tennessee in that first half is at best any game that they've had thus far this season. And it hinges upon what Tennessee really needs to do moving forward, and that's just have that concerted effort that we talked about before, getting the ball on the interior, especially, Andy, against an outsized, outmatched opponent in terms of their bigs. Tennessee can have its way with J.P. Estrella and Jalen Carey, Felix Akbar, and Dwayne Brown. Just a myriad of options that Coach Barnes has in his arsenal.
34 points in the paint for Tennessee in that first half, and again defensively just made it difficult for Gardner Webb. Maybe one of their best defensive performances as a team Tuesday, that win against Louisville. Have you seen them carry that over in a good way to make it uncomfortable for the Running Bulldogs?
I think so, right? You know, you got off to a slow start. The initial lid lifter didn't come for the first couple of minutes of the game. Tennessee was kind of pressing, not into any sort of rhythm, but once they had the ball inside, got some easy looks at the basket, it just opened up everything on the perimeter. It's just an easy game. Inside out, the game takes care of itself.
And Gardner Webb just 25% from the floor there in that first half. Again, Tennessee's bigs are going to make it really hard to get it off the drive. They shot just 3 of 16 from 3 in a team that is also coming off a win. They're looking to jumpstart their travel into Big South play coming soon, and obviously one of the toughest environments of teams they've played all season.
Yeah, if you play well in this environment, odds are in your conference you're not going to see anyone that has this type of size and strength and depth, so you can play well there as well.
Great start for Tennessee to start the second half. Kobe Gillespie has been running the offense, found Dwayne Brown for 2. On the other end, Spence Sims will head to the line.
So if you're Tennessee, can you stand prosperity, Andy? Can you stand prosperity? You had a very good, very efficient first half of basketball. Can you put together back-to-back good halves of basketball and put, your opponent away?
How about that line so far for Gillespie? 8 points, 7 assists. Again, is being asked to run this Tennessee offense. Transferred from Maryland, who averaged about 5 assists a game last season. He's sitting at about 5.4 where we stand in 2 months of play. And the feeling is he just has to be that guy every night for Tennessee. Yes, he's going to have off nights, but he's going to be expected to carry a lot of the weight.
Well, and there's some questions yet to be answered, because you are not going to be at your best efficiently if you're Tennessee and you have Jacoby, who knocks down another 3, playing 36, 37 minutes a game. You can't have that. So you have to have someone as his backup that can man this Tennessee offense and keep that offense humming.
Well, that shot from distance looking smooth for Gillespie. He's got 11 points now. 3 of them from behind the three-point line. Tennessee looking efficient coming out of the break. Dwayne Brown flying up for an offensive rebound. Amit hit a 3 in the first half. Dwayne Brown again. That time the goal got in his way.
Like that effort, though, from Dwayne Brown. Really like that effort.
Gillespie trying to save it from going past the baseline. He has been a little bit of everywhere in this one so far.
Yeah, Gillespie, what I like about what he did there is steps into the shot, right? He catches the ball, perfect pass, pocket pass, caught it, went right up with it in rhythm and knocked it down.
He's going to get credited with a turnover on that one. Doesn't feel like it should be a turnover. He made a defensive hustle play. Hawkins, free throw line. And it'll stay Gardner Webb basketball. Gardner Webb did a good job early in that first 3 to 4 minutes of the game, out-rebounding Tennessee, especially on the offensive side, but it's a volunteer team that just has significant height advantage.
Well, if you're Coach Luther, the one thing that you want to see from your running Rebels is the no quit, right? Treat this game as if it's 0-0. You know, are you going to win this basketball game? Probably not. But you want to see that maximum effort every single time up and down the floor.
Nice mid-range, Jacob Hogarth. Sophomore forward inside, a smooth touch.
Hogarth is a good player. Got a good frame, good body.
Gillespie stays in control. Now off the drive inside and a good finish. He can hit the three, but he's really good off the drive too.
He's really good at using that left hand. You know, he went into the middle of that paint and was going to throw it up to, you know, someone in the dunker spot, but the defense backed off, you know, allowed him to use his left hand to get to the basket.
Gardner Webb held under 20 points. That's the lowest a Tennessee opponent has been held to for the Vols this season defensively.
Really good stand there by Nate Ament.
Amon off the drive, contact, and a jump ball is the call there as Amon tried to take it to the rim.
And you don't mind that, right? That is going to come with experience. He's going to get stronger. He's going to fill out even more, and he'll be able to, you know, take defenders up with him. But until then, you want to see him, again, Andy, play off of 2 feet, right? Because if you play off of 2 feet, you can then jump stop, you can head and shoulders fake, you can pivot, you can pass, you can go up with a shot. But when you play off of 1 there, it's difficult.
Amon's had some great games in his freshman season for Tennessee, 3-time SEC Freshman of the Week in the conference. But he's also had some games where he hasn't been able to get into the flow. He shot 32% from the floor during Tennessee's 3-game losing stretch. Had some games where he couldn't get in rhythm, and opposing defenses made it really hard for him. But you talk about the mental game that is basketball, and this coaching staff praises Nate for what he's able to do to move on to the next game despite a performance from the one prior.
Well, you got to flush the bad ones as well as the good ones, right? Because every day, every game is a new opportunity to prove your wares. And when you're someone like Nate Ament, you're going to be challenged every single time because these guys know, you know, Gardner Webb knows that, you know, we're playing against a potential top 10 NBA pick next season. You know, the scouting report is out. Push up on Nate, be a little bit more aggressive, be physical with him. So he is going to have to, you know, continue to mature mentally and physically. And, odds are he's going to be okay.
The thing is, young players and freshmen, you see Coach Gainey one-on-one time with him on the side. Freshmen are going to grow so much throughout the season, and that starts in the summer when they get on campus, but it doesn't just end once you tip off in late October. It is a season-long progression, and the expectation is a lot of these Tennessee freshmen are going to be much different ball players at the end of the season than they are even now.
They're going to be better because they're going to be challenged each and every day in practice. You know, iron sharpens iron, and when you got the type of depth that Coach Barnes has at every position, you've got no choice but to get better.
This Tennessee team and coaching staff do a fantastic job with film and one-on-one analysis. A lot of individual work that goes on behind the scenes. And one is Jemias Ferrer, the true freshman, will get an extra opportunity at the line.
Yeah, Jemias Ferrer, man, good cut, good catch on the interior right there, and went up strong with it, got fouled. Is going to get rewarded by going to the charity stripe. They could use a little bit more from that. You know, if you're Coach Luther, man, try to get the ball on the inside, utilize the speed that you've got, the quickness that you've got to kind of offset that immense size that Tennessee's got.
And the shots from distance not falling yet for Gardner Webb, just 3 of 18. Jalen Carey, he's always going to be physical in there, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities to shoot too.
Once he gets his feet set in the paint, there's really nothing you can do about it. So if you're a defender, Andy, you better do your homework early. You better either try to shove him out, because you look at where he catches the ball right there on the block. You know, that's unacceptable. And it's going to be tougher than that. You know, when he gets into SEC play, it's going to be a lot tougher than that. But, man, he is an immovable force.
And the first thing Coach Barnes said about Carey was that he could have had a 20-point night on Tuesday if he makes his free throws. He's 4 of 10. And again, that's been the focus with Jalen Carey, is can he get more consistent from the line?
Coach Barnes said it best today. He's too good of a free throw shooter, too good of a form to miss, at the level in which he's missing from the free throw line.
1 for 2 that time around. Carey has got 8 points. Big man has been busy. 13 minutes of work. Hawkins, Sims, really good defense from Abram. Staying right on Sims. 3 from the left wing. Rims away. Good defense from Tennessee on ball.
Good defense, but that's really good offense. It got you a wide open look because you ran your sets. You didn't settle for the first shot or the second shot. You made Tennessee's defense rotate.
Mari Evans from the corner can't hit. Jalen Carey is in there, and a really nice kiss off the glass. 11th offensive rebound for Tennessee today.
Just too easy for Jalen Carey, man. He just cleans everything up on the interior. All the misses, he's right there to clean everything up.
10 points, 5 boards for Carey. Vanderbilt transfer. Estrella going for that one. Out of play will stay. Gardner Webb ball. Jalen Carey doing work. The big men having a great day.
Having a great day, cleaning it up. Reverse pivot there, off the glass. The kiss and in.
Jacoby Gillespie has been running this Tennessee offense all season, and much of the same in this one. He's got 7 total assists, finding his teammates, but also scoring as well. Game high 13 points.
So you want to play point guard for Coach Barnes? You can ask TJ Ford and Lamonte Turner and Jordan Bone and Zakai Ziegler. All these guys will tell you how hard it is to play the point guard position for Coach Barnes, because he's exceedingly demanding of his point guards. He asks for them to run the team, to score, to facilitate, to be a willing passer, to do all of those things. And you look at these numbers for Jacoby Gillespie, he's only going to get better from here, Andy, because he is ascending into that role of being that prototypical point guard for Coach Barnes that can score and facilitate.
11 straight games for Gillespie with 10 plus. He's got to have that balance every night of passing the ball, but then also being a go-to scorer. And that's not an easy balance for a lot of players, but he's been able to handle that.
And he does it very well. And again, he's still learning, still getting better.
Amari Abram, a smooth jumper. We've seen him play good defense. He's got the extra large undershirt flowing, and a good shot that time.
Amari Abram, man, the good lettuce that he's got on top as well. Really like what he does for Tennessee. As I talk, he gets a steal there and leads his offense. Now, this is the time right here that if you're Tennessee, you want them to continue to, again, keep humming, because you don't have your leader here with Jacoby Gillespie being on the bench.
Abram, strong take. We've seen him shoot the 3, seen him drive in the lane. A little bit of everything from Amari Abram.
Ooh, good take.
Good finish. Colin Hawkins, quick answer.
Colin Hawkins, man, plays some bully basketball. He's got that wide body, can back you down, can intimidate you, can go at the rim with force and physicality. He's a good player.
At Tennessee, the bench had a very productive day against Louisville on Tuesday. 34 bench points compared to Louisville's 3. And again, Cardinals were without significant option. So they were down a few options as their bench was a little bit thinner, but Tennessee were able to get great production from the bench. Jalen Carey being one of those. We're seeing a lot of the same today. And again, the forefront's going to be defense, but you're going to take performances like this on the offensive end from Abram and Carey.
Yeah, the defense is going to be the fulcrum in which Tennessee rotates and pivots, right? It sets the tone. But when you have that sort of ease in terms of a big-to-big pass that leads to a layup, man, it's just good stuff.
Carey for 3. Doesn't take a lot of those. Abram able to get the offensive rebound and earn 2 shots.
So Jalen Carey, he can do it obviously on the interior. Look at this big-to-big pass. It forces the defender to make that decision as we talked about. But with him, odds are, Andy, that Coach Barnes is not going to be upset with that three-point attempt because he's giving you just immense effort. He's rebounding. He is scoring. He's doing all the dirty work. So you don't mind him stepping out and taking that three-point attempt.
Some really productive minutes here for Amari Abram in the second half. He's up to 9 points, 4 of 4 from the floor. And we've seen him provide good defense as well.
I liken him to a quiet assassin, man. He's a smooth operator, doesn't get rattled. I talked to Coach Barnes about him today particularly. He doesn't get too high or too low. Just an ultimate team player.
You like the number 77?
You know, rarely will you see a 77 in a basketball game, but just the other day, he was guarding a number 77. So you had two 77s on the floor at the same time.
Lucky sevens, I believe, is why he went with that. And it works well for him so far. Working well today. A nice two. Gardner Webb able to buy a jumper as Williams up to 10 points. Anytime Henderson can't handle the pass from Clarence Masamba. And a Tennessee turnover. A rare Tennessee turnover. Vols have taken care of the basketball for the most part today.
They really have, and it starts with practice. We talked about the 10 days prior to the Louisville basketball practice when Coach Barnes was hit with an epiphany, man, of putting 10 balloons up at midcourt, and every time Tennessee turned the ball over, a balloon was popped. Once that 10 balloon was popped, man, it was running time. So Tennessee is getting better and better at just taking care of the basketball.
Abram rips it away. He'll take on two Bulldogs and a huge finish. Amari Abram.
Just too smooth, right? A steal on the other end. You take on two Bulldogs. You finish with your offhand and do it with the greatest of ease.
77 flying through the lane. DJ Jefferson for three. He's got it to go.
He's got it cooking today now. He's telling Coach Luther, I need some more playing time. I played in this environment before. If I did it then, I can do it now.
2 years of this Tennessee program. Troy Henderson, an answer. Freshman's got his third three.
Something tells me that the next scouting report against Troy Henderson will be you cannot go underneath the screen. You got to go over top.
Curtis Williams having a great day. Transfer from Northwest Florida State College has 12. 12 of the team's 33. Wayne Brown turnaround. Akpara. Easy offensive board. Can't get it off the glass.
Akpara has a tendency to leave those short, right? He gets it off at its highest point, but he leaves it short sometimes.
Jacob Hogarth able to get that one on the other end. Really good finish for the Brooklyn native. Abram way back. On it. Amari Abram doing a little bit of everything. 77 with some long distance range.
Yeah, that long distance call was answered, man. But you look at him going down the floor. There was no yelling, no rah-rah, sis boom bah, none of that, man. I'm just going to go back down the floor and play defense.
Abram is up to 15 points. And DJ Jefferson feeling good. He's got 9 points, 3 made from distance.
DJ's heating up.
Again, very comfortable in this environment. 2 years as a Vol. He's shot here plenty of times, and Abram, he's red hot. Can he keep it going?
And getting to know DJ Jefferson the time that he was here, man, he's a terrific, terrific young man.
Amari Abram is 6 for 6 from the floor, having himself a day.
He's having himself a day, but man, it starts on the defensive end. Smooth operator, smooth criminal, leads to a beautiful finish.
Crowd is into the Christmas spirit. We're doing a look-alike cam of Christmas characters right now on the video board. Santa's in the building. the media crew who's covering this game, they're wearing their best rendition of ugly Christmas sweaters. I'm kind of feeling left out, Steve, that we didn't bring our Christmas gear today.
Yeah, we didn't get the memo. We should have dressed in our ugliest, our best Christmas garb. Andy, I'm feeling left out for sure.
Look, that was a Tennessee-themed Santa hat as well. As the crowd is excited to get the holiday week started. This is a great stop for them here on this Sunday matinee matchup, Tennessee and Gardner Webb. But it's been cool to see the unique way people have gotten into the spirit.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a good thing about basketball season. You touch a lot of the key holidays. You get to celebrate each one during the games. Sort of themed revolved around it.
Yes.
Marketing crew, in-venue crew at Tennessee's done a fantastic job of that today.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without everyone that is behind the camera, the producer, director, everyone. Just an awesome, awesome job as always. Got to give a shout out to Allison.
That's right. Our great producer, Allison Paris, working hard on this Sunday. Not wearing a Christmas sweater, though, which is unfortunate.
And that's okay. That's okay.
I'm sure some of the crew are celebrating better than we are. So we obviously didn't get the memo either.
Well, you look at Tennessee here. We talked about it before, but you want to always enter your break on a win. You want to enter your break playing at your best. You want Coach Barnes to leave that locker room at the end of this game and go, great job, guys. A lot of work to do, but great job. Have fun on your break, as opposed to, hey, man, we got a lot of work to do, and, we're going to cut the break shorter. You guys are going to do more work here.
Dwayne Brown with the flush. Tennessee continues to pour it on. A three. Peterson able to knock it in for Gardner Webb, as the long-range shot starting to fall a bit more for the running Bulldogs. It's their sixth made three.
This is what we expected, right? Just an up-and-down matchup. Both teams shooting the ball well.
Parra cleans up his own miss. I don't know if it's a rebound.
That was another one of those looks from Parra that was just short, not giving it a chance.
Gillespie can't knock down the three. Sims quickly the other way. Sims from the corner, and that's good. Gardner Webb starting to feel it from deep.
Yeah, back-to-back threes.
Back to a 40-point game. Have to like the non-quit in this Gardner Webb team. They were held under 20 points in the first half, but now starting to find some comfortability from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, they're settling in just a little bit too late, obviously. The lead is probably insurmountable, but at the same time, you want to see your team continue to fight, continue to play. DJ Jefferson attacking the basket here. The goaltending, so he's going to be rewarded another deuce.
Good energy from Gardner Webb and DJ Jefferson here in Knoxville. A lot of good offense in this second half for both these teams settling in. Amari Abram especially has had an unbelievable second half performance. He hasn't missed from the floor. Curtis Williams on the other end helping Gardner Webb to what has been a 58% from the floor second half for the running Bulldogs.
Yeah, Coach Luther could use just a little bit more of that from Curtis Williams. And again, this bodes well for him, right? If you can do that in this type of hostile environment against the overwhelming size and talent and depth that Tennessee's got, man, you can do it in your own conference.
Amari Abram has tied a season high in terms of points. He had 15 against Tennessee State right before the trip to Las Vegas. Good defense from Gardner Webb and DJ Jefferson. Jefferson's got 11, the former Vol, for Gardner Webb in this one. He's had a good second half, too.
Yeah, and he's got a cheering squad behind us.
Yeah. And spent 2 years here on Rocky Top. Got to learn under Coach Barnes and be a part of an Elite Eight trip with Tennessee and Dalton Connect 2 years ago. A big part of that team.
And sometimes it's just the right fit, right? You got to have the right fit in order to continue to grow your basketball game.
Jefferson went to Longwood last season and now in his first season with Gardner Webb and Jeremy Luther. Abram gives it away. Jefferson with the steal. DJ Jefferson to the rim. 13 for the former Vol.
DJ Jefferson, man, is putting on a show right now with steals and finishes, showing that immense athleticism that he's got in his arsenal.
Has to feel good to come back in this building and just play confidently. Abram hadn't missed today, and that one was everything but in, just rattled around the rim.
Like what Gardner Webb's doing, still pushing the tempo, forcing Tennessee to continue to play. But if I'm Coach Luther, man, I'm finding the hot hand. And the hot hand right now is DJ Jefferson.
Looking for him there. Abram staying on him pretty tight. Abram able to pick that loose from Barber. Mari Abram has been an impact on both ends. Troy Henderson already with 9 points on a trio of triples. Can't hit.
You look at what DJ Jefferson can do now. Gets his hand in the passing lane by having the active hands, and then, man, finishing on the other end with his off hand.
And that's the talent that Tennessee was after when they got DJ Jefferson. It was a highly rated recruit out of high school. Spent 2 seasons in that Tennessee program from Richardson, Texas. And again, it's just in this day and age, Tennessee had a very heavy veteran team 2 years ago when they went through the portal. Got Dalton Connect, a veteran. They did it last year with Igor Milicic and Chance Lanier, a couple of veterans. And that's the way Tennessee went. And if you're a young player, it was very hard to crack those lineups a few years ago.
You said it best, Andy. It was going to be hard to overtake some of those veterans that you had on your team. So, you know, sometimes, again, you just look for your opportunities elsewhere. And I think he may have just found a home with Coach Luther and Gardner Webb, the running Bulldogs.
Curtis Williams, 12 points, can't hit that 3. Tennessee with 4 freshmen in the game, along with Felix Okpara.
Tennessee is right now having one of those scoring droughts. Well, that just ended.
Oh, from Masamba, Felix Okpara right on cue. They heard you, Steve.
I think they must have been listening, because that was about a 3-minute scoring drought.
Okpara always a threat off the lob. He's got 4 points.
Might not have been the best of passes for an alley-oop there. Want to see that go up just a little bit higher, but nonetheless an assist for Clarence Masamba and a great finish over top Felix Okpara.
Yeah, you don't have to be the point guard to know where Felix Okpara is on the court. As Okpara can be a lob threat from anyone at any time.
Yeah, the thing about Coach Barnes is that he is just such a fantastic X's and O's coach. He's got his guys like chess pieces always in the right spot. And more times than not, he's got his bigs in the dunker spots. And they're there for the alley-oop.
Williams is 2 for 2. He continues his good afternoon, 14 points. Looking for Amen inside, not quite. He was swarmed.
That's just not a good pass, right? That's just not a good pass, man. Run the offense. I know you want to get Nate Ament a highlight opportunity, but man, you got to run your offense.
Hudson for 3, back iron. Tennessee out rebounding Gardner Webb 44-21. They have been really strong on the glass. And we talked about how big the paint guys were Tuesday in that marquee win against Louisville, a game that they had to have. And it's just become clear that this team's going to win a lot of their ball games come conference play. They get the ball inside, and they're going to outmuscle you.
Yeah, because, you know, they've got that depth. They're going to have fresh legs at all times. You got a guy that may get into foul trouble. Well, you know, you got someone else that's just as good behind him that can step in and do all the work.
Emmett's got another three, his second. He's just 2 for 7. He's got a good shot, but again, it's part of that staying confident, staying with the shot.
Well, and if you're listening or watching and you're wondering, well, why is Nate Emmett in the game right now? This game is solidly out of hand. You also got to understand that Nate Emmett needs some work. You know, this is valuable playing live experience for him, and he could use every bit of it.
Look at the horizon for Gardner Webb as they get ready for conference play. Again, for teams like Gardner Webb, that's where you're going to make your magic happen in Big South play. Can you be the best team against your conference foes and then win a few games in March and get to the big dance?
Yeah, and if you kind of bottle up this second half with your coach Luther and the running Rebels, then it bodes well for your next 5 games, because these games are winnable basketball games for Gardner Webb. So this is a confidence building, again, second half, confidence building effort for his team.
A New Year's Eve battle against Charleston Southern. Final little effort of 2025 before Gardner Webb kicks it into the new year. Tennessee themselves will also have one more game of this 2025 campaign. They start to set their eyes forward towards SEC play, and it once again should be another really fun year in the SEC. You got South Carolina State 2 days before the new year, and then at Arkansas and Coach Cal, 2 of the coaches at the top of active career wins, and Coach Barnes and Coach Calipari. Should be a fun way to start conference play.
Well, you got, as you just mentioned, you got a little bit of a tune-up with South Carolina State coming in. They will pose a challenge for Coach Barnes. There will be a high level of attention put towards South Carolina State, but then you turn all the efforts to Arkansas. Very, very talented team over in Fayetteville for sure.
That is a really challenging place to win at Arkansas. And then obviously a very emotional game when Texas comes to town. First SEC home game, Coach Barnes against his former team. Jefferson got in there, got a steal. Might have been thinking about the dunk on the other end. Couldn't quite handle it, but it's been a high energy game for DJ.
Yeah, and you look at just another great big-to-big pass there, but you look at Jacoby Gillespie, and that, again, not a very good pass, and he's probably going to take a seat for the rest of the game.
Jefferson for 3 off the mark.
A little bit of a heat check for DJ.
And Coach Luther said, I could have swung the ball around a little bit. Again, good day for Jefferson. Fires another one here in Knoxville. Gillespie looking for Brown, not quite on that pass. A little short. Jacob Hudson the other way, gonna throw it up for Williams and can't finish it. And Coach Luther obviously a bit frustrated after those last 2 possessions for his team.
Yeah, because you don't want to give away those easy 2, man. You got to find a way to finish those. I know, again, the lead is insurmountable, but every bucket counts.
Well, Tennessee's gonna unload the bench. Grant Hurst, Campbell Duncan, Evan Paul checking in. Trio of walk-ons for this Tennessee squad. Obviously an incredibly important aspect of what teams do on a day-to-day basis is what they're able to give the squad in terms of energy, practice, effort.
Well, you want to see these guys play, man. They do all the grunt work. They do the scout work. They rebound, and man, to get them paid off with an opportunity to score and to play on this floor is special.
Ball just nearly got a bucket to go at the rim. Gardner Webb able to get some fresh subs in as well. Hawkins just a bit high. Another turnover forced from this Tennessee defense. 13 from Gardner Webb. They did a much better job taking care of the ball in the second half.
Really did. And that was really good defense by Tennessee there. Again, there's a reason why all of Tennessee's basketball team on the bench was standing just a moment ago, because they're rooting for these guys. They want to see them score.
Deep three from Grant Hurst. Can't hit it. Brown's got the board. Boswell wide open. Back to Hurst. Another three. Short. Front iron.
Really unselfish basketball by Bishop Boswell. Had an open avenue.
He was open.
He could have taken it to the rack and flushed it, but he wanted to see his teammate get a good look.
Here's Isaiah Hicks, throws that one up off the mark. Redshirt junior guard. And now here with 20 seconds, Hurst is going to be fouled by Jefferson. That's one of 3 guys that Jefferson played with at Tennessee, Grant Hurst there. So those two are familiar with each other. It's
Got a little
very
bit of
different team
there.
Yeah.
But this gives Grant Hurst an opportunity to go to the free throw line and put his name in the official book here.
Hurst, the most senior of the Tennessee walk-ons, his redshirt senior year. Off the front iron, though, can't connect. And then the ball's right to you, Steve. Well done.
Yeah, you know,
hands are ready.
My hands are ready, man. You always got to have the hands ready, Andy.
Saving the gear. Last possessions for these squads. Again, a little pre-holiday appetizer. Both teams will have one more game remaining until the new year. Gavin Paul will fire one, not close. That'll wrap things up. Tennessee, another non-conference home win. They haven't lost at home yet this season, and they do pretty well in the non-conference now. 43rd straight non-conference home win as a program.
Yeah, if you're Tennessee, if you're Coach Barnes, you did what you needed to do, right? You came out, you dispatched Gardner Webb, you played well, you got some guys a lot of playing time that ordinarily don't get a chance to play a bunch. So that's a great effort by Coach Barnes and the Tennessee Volunteers.
Fantastic job from our crew here today on Rocky Top. It's all Tennessee. They get back-to-back home wins this week. Steve Hamer, Andy Brock saying so long here from Knoxville.